Alright, so I wanted to do a little YouTube short live video of how I am wiring the receptacles in my shed. I'm by no means a electrician of any kind in a professional manner. I've learned enough to get me by, I suppose. So take that for what you will. So the first thing I do, or I have been doing, is just scoring the little plastic outside part with my razor blade and kind of holding my finger along the side just so I don't cut too deep. You want to make sure you don't cut too deep because you don't want to cut into your wire. And just score it enough so then we can take off that outside part. And then just try to be careful and cut off most of it. All right. And then take off your paper wrapping around the wire. And then take off your paper wrapping around your ground cable. Now, actual electricians will probably have better tools than I'm using, but this is just your average homeowner that is trying to do a few things himself. So now we need to do the next one. Again, just score this plastic outside part. Take that off. And you can see there's a little bit left on the inside here. I'm just pushing it back as far as I can to get it, most of it off, and then cutting kind of close to the remainder part, and then taking off this paper and take off the paper from the ground wire. Sometimes it can be a little annoying. All right, so now what we have left are our wires, and I have power. This is power coming in, and then my other one is continuing on to more receptacles. So we're just kind of connecting ones that are just all daisy chained together on the same circuit. So the next thing I'm going to do is just bring my ground wires together, kind of push it down into it a little bit just to give you some extra ground wire there to mess with. I'm just going to twist those two together. So just give them a nice good twist to make sure they don't come apart. All right, once you got those twisted pretty good, just kind of grab it, push some of it out of the way, and then we only need one of these to connect onto our receptacle here. So after you get that all twisted up, I'm just going to cut whichever one's the shortest off. So cut that, and then that little bit that's left there, I'm just going to twist it a little more, kind of wrap it as tight and good as I can. All right, so now that's ready to go right there, and then I can go ahead and connect to that, but I'll wait on that and just get these other two prepared. And we're going to, okay, so on the receptacle we have, it's going to be sitting this way in the box. So our silver screws right here are for the white wires, that's your neutral, and then our bronze screws over here are for the black wires, the power coming in. So both of these will connect on that side, and the other two is going to connect on this side. This is a pretty easy setup. That's kind of how my mind is. I have to do simple things. I can't get into too complicated of electric work. But this is just your basic, homeowner receptacle type stuff. So I'm just going to push those back a little bit, give me a little extra room. And also giving it a little bit of a bend, like this one in the back here is coming up from the bottom. So if I bend it up, what that's going to do is what I've kind of been learning. Once you have these connected to the receptacle, you need to push that receptacle in, and so that will continue those bends and just kind of make it easier to have the wires go back in. So next thing we need to do is just cut it to about where we want our length to be. And I'm going to go about right there. Then do the other side. All right, and then we're going to strip off the ends. And just do, I don't know what the average amount you're supposed to do, but probably, 3/8 section of the covering. Take that off so that, yeah, that looks about right. And then let's go to the next one. So there we got those two ready. And I'll take a little more off that one. And one more. I need a little more than that. Okay, so now they're ready to connect to the receptacle. And like I said earlier, we're just connecting our silver screws to the white and our brass looking, bronze, whatever you call it, to the power coming in and continuing out. So the convenient thing about these receptacles right here is they do have the opening in the back right there. So you will just be able to pop in the wire really easily like that. So if we just, I've been connecting my ground wire first, so let me clip a little bit off of that. And then I'm taking the end of it right here and giving it a little bit of a twist, and I'll explain why. So I'm twisting it into a rounded bit like that, and I'm doing it in a downward twist because this screw, when you tighten it, is twisting clockwise, so righty-tighty. So when I have that getting tightened down, it's continuing the same loop instead of trying to undo it. But when I have it wrapped around the ground screw, I just kind of grab that end and try to complete the little loop around the screw. So now we basically got it touching right there. So let's go ahead and tighten that one down. So that's nice and tight. Then we can flip this up, grab our other two wires here. Let's move these others out of the way for a second. And just try to get these in there. And just try to get it to the edge of where the coating on the wire is, right to the edge of this plate right here that you're getting ready to screw down. So basically try to make the copper barely visible and then tighten it down. Sometimes it can be a little annoying to deal with. All right, once that's tight, go to the other side, do the same thing. Get your wires going in. Okay. And get those tightened down. All right, so we are ready to go ahead and put it in the box. Now, like I said earlier, the wire coming in from the bottom, you can see right here, it has the bend going up, and then the wire coming from the top has the bend going down. So when you push this in, it's going to kind of continue that bend, and it'll be a little easier to get the receptacle pushed in. So let's go ahead and try to help it a little more, and then, yeah, there we go. So it's going to push in easily, and then I'm just going to use the drill to get these screws in quicker than by hand. Get that one started, and then go to the bottom. Now it's kind of twisting on me, so I want to make sure that's sort of going in straight. All right, so there we go. And of course, the next thing after this will be when the insulation is put in and whatever finished outside material you have here. But what I've been doing for right now, because I'm not to that point yet, is going ahead and just putting the cover on, just so I don't have to store it anywhere, and then I'll take it off when I need to. So go ahead and put that on, and that's what your finished, that's the back end of what your finished receptacle looks like inside a house, or anywhere you see one. There's what the back end looks like behind the drywall or whatever material. So let me show you what this circuit looks like. I've been working on this little shed shop thing that I got going on. So my power is coming from over here, and I forget which one of these breakers, but my power is coming from the breaker here, and it's traveling up. It's going across, all the way over, coming down, starting at this receptacle. I have one coming to the front over here, and then this circuit is just continuing all the way down the side of the building, and have a couple in the back. And then I have a separate circuit for the other side. So that's pretty much it, and that's all I did on that receptacle is what I've done, just continuing the power all the way down. So there's your basic circuit and wiring a receptacle.